This is a tutorial on how to create G-class folders, which is basically a drop box for students where they can have a shared folder with you, whether it's just you and the student or with you and several students. So I'm going to show you how to do that. If you have not done so, one idea before creating G-class folders is to create a Google form. The reason being is because you'll be using what's called a G-class folders script, and this script has a template which you'll need a first name, last name, email address of the student, class name, and then an optional period number. Those are the columns that will be embedded in a spreadsheet, and that's what the folders will be created from. If you are unsure on how to create a Google form, you can go to what's a shortened URL that a video I've created. If you type in bit.ly/ Google Forms tutorial, click enter, it will bring you to a Google Forms creation. It's a 7-minute video on how to create Google Forms. That way you can send out a form to your students and have them fill in all the information rather than you hand or manually entering each of your students' information. This would be a lot quicker than manually putting in your students' information. So the first thing you want to do once you've had your students fill out your Google form with their first name, last name, email address, class name, and then period, you'll want to go to create, and then you'll want to click form from template, and we at Swashco have several templates, but you'll want to, so as South Washington County templates, you'll see that there are several here, but we want to go to public templates, and you'll type in G-class folders, all one word, search templates, and then you will click use this template. By default, it gives you a name. I would recommend changing that name right away, that way you know what it is, and I might call it whatever class you're using it for. So it might be for my class, Sheltered ELL. Click OK. So now I'll know, and actually I might change it to, and just type in G-class folders. That way I know where it is. So as mentioned, you'll need to know the student's name, first name, last name, email, class name, period. I would recommend putting the hour that you have the student, and then I would also recommend putting in your email account. That way your students also have that. You can actually also put in a para's or a co-teacher's email address in this as well. So the first thing you need to do is have student information in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my other folder where my students' names are and copy and then paste them in here. That's what I would normally do, but for the time being I'm just going to put my name, Matthew Karasek, put my email address in here, ELL, 5th hour, and I'm going to put my apps account in for my teacher email. Mr. Karasek, and put an M. Karasek at Sawashco. That way it's something different. Class name, again ELL, 5th hour. There it is. So now what I'm going to do, now that I've entered all of mine or copied and pasted all of my student information, I will now create folders and shares. So I click folders and shares. You'll see that it says running script. You will need to authorize it, giving permission to the third party company. And you want to use your apps account. And once it is done authorizing and installing, you'll notice a couple more boxes were added. So we've got the status, and we've got teacher share. So again, you can share or add your paras or co-teachers. The student Dropbox. This looks kind of funny. I think part of it is because I've used the same email address right here for myself. Whereas with other students who had different email addresses, it should be okay. You'll actually see links to the student folders, and I can show you that in a minute. But if I go back to my Google Drive, you'll notice I have a new ELL folder, because that's the class I called it. So make sure you call it the class that you want. So now I have a new ELL folder that wasn't there before. And you'll notice a couple of menus in there, a couple of folders. So you'll see an edit window, which is basically it's shared with the whole classroom, so any email addresses that were on this template, they can edit in here. So that might be a whole class activity that you want all students to have editing rights. In this one, as it says, it's a view only. I usually change that view to file cabinet, and so that's where homework assignments or resources are stored for my students. So all students are able to see it, but they can't change anything. And then you have the student Dropbox. What that basically means is for each class you will have a shared folder for each student. So my 5th hour, you'll see that Matthew Karasek is different than Mr. Karasek. So those are the two different students I created, and notice these are shared with those students and only those students. But for all the students you would have entered, you would have created a shared one-to-one folder, so a teacher and student. So not all the students would be able to see their folder, only Matthew Karasek and the teacher would see this one, and only Mr. Karasek and the teacher would see what's put in this one. What I also have done is for each student, and this does take a little bit of time, unfortunately, the script does not allow this, at least not that I'm aware of. For each student, I tend to create a new folder called Graded, and I will change the rights on it from editing to only viewing. So what that means is they're going to drop their homework into their named folder. So you'll see a list of homework, and once I grade it, I drag it and drop it right into the graded folder, and then they can't change it. So once I've graded it and put it in there, then they are no longer able to manipulate that homework assignment. So that means they won't be able to change it or anything. They'll just be able to view my comments and my feed. So once you've created the folders using gclassfolders, the script, the students will see everything in here in their shared folder. They won't see it in their My Drive. So what they'll need to do once they've logged into their account, and they all have the @appsdistrict833.org account, that's their username and password, just like if they were logging into any computer, they will need to go to their Shared With Me folder. So basically everything from here on down will only show their name. So basically everything here on down, they will add to my drive. So basically what that means is they can click here or here and they'll see a button that says add to my drive. Obviously it's on my drive right now, so there's no button, but they would have to click that and then they'll automatically go to their drive, which it is truly theirs, a shared document. And that is how you G-class folders for your classes. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me at mkarasek@swc833.org. Thanks a lot.